All right, so tonight I have 3 broad goals for us, okay? And so the first one is that by the end of this workshop, I would like for you to be able to leave here feeling really comfortable that whatever gradient that you're gonna wanna spin, right, for like whatever project, that you're going to really have a great idea of what colors to choose to start with, and then like what direction it's gonna go in as you spin it, and then what the results are gonna be. So from this point on, right, when you go to spin specifically for a project in mind, I think you'll really be able to, or my hope is that the goal is, right, that you'll really be able to know even before you buy the fiber, right, that you're just going to kind of know already, you know, how to get there. Okay, so we're going to kind of start from the end product, right, whether it's like a shawl or a sweater or whatever the case may be is that you want to spin for, and kind of do like what is called like a reverse engineering or like backwards design, where we start with the end and we work towards the beginning. Okay, and so the other goal, again, is that if there's any type of gradient that you want to spin, you'll be able to do so. And we'll talk about all of the different kinds that there are. So not just being able to pick colors and knowing how those colors are going to play out, but also how to use those colors within the gradient spinning spectrum, so to speak. And then again, the last overarching goal is that whatever project that you're gonna go ahead and spin, that I want you to be able to visualize the gradient and then the project pairing, right? So like if you did one approach with one fiber, how would that look, for example, in socks compared to a sweater? Okay, so that you'll be able to understand those components. As far as the agenda or the way that I'm going to achieve these goals, right, I'm going to first start off really simple. Okay, so there's kind of 2 parts to this gradient spinning workshop. The first is color theory, and so we're going to talk a little bit about the color component, but then there's also the technical spinning component, right? And so some people might be really good spinners, but they may not really be comfortable with color, okay? And then other people might be really comfortable with color, but they may be a beginner spinner. So as we go through, I'm going to kind of start off things really simple and kind of in the beginner, you know, level. And then I'm going to build so that if you're more advanced, you'll get something out of tonight. And if you're more of a beginner, you'll get something out of tonight. Okay, so we're going to start off really simple, just talking about the basics and also the basics of color theory. So I'm not going to get too, you know, in-depth or complicated with it, but we're gonna start with color theory, and then we'll talk about all the different types of gradients that are possible just in the color sense, right? And so after that, I'll talk about what projects pair well with gradients. So if you're going to mix an approach, again, you know, like for socks, how might that be different than for a sweater? And then why would you want the effect of a gradient in your yarn? What is the reason that you may want to spin this way? And then I'm going to go into the mechanics and the technical component of it. So I'll talk about how to actually spin, how to do like the physical things with your hands. And then I'm going to also show you, which I think is probably the takeaway that I'm hoping you're going to get the most out of tonight, is the planning part, right? So that once you have the gradient skill component and once you have the color theory component, then putting the 2 together, how can you be really successful when planning for a project? So that's the part that I'm really excited to get to and share with you.